Welcome to my garden. This is another episode of Extreme Zone Pushing, coming from my Zone 5B garden in Ontario, Canada. The plant for today, the Sago palm, Ficus revoluta. Welcome to my garden. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is about Ficus revoluta, commonly called the Sago palm. I currently have 3 of these in my garden. This is the oldest of them. This plant has been in the ground for its 5th summer. It has about 18 inches of trunk. They're beautiful plants. They make great house plants as well. In my Zone 5B garden, they do require winter protection. Winter protection is fairly straightforward. I use the C9 Christmas lights method. Check the description below. There's a link to 2 of my videos on winterization and winter protection. Sago palms are an 8B plant in the south. In Canada, 9A. In a sheltered spot, they can do even better. They'll take full sun or partial shade. If they're in well-drained soil, you can water freely, and once established, they are quite drought tolerant. The plant I'm standing in front of is just about 6 feet wide. This is a new flush of leaves, and I'll show you a video of how quickly they do leaf out. From the time you first see the center of the plant with the new growth starting to spiral, they do open up to full size in just about 2 weeks. This is how the Sago palm looks August the 8th. You can see the new fronds being pushed out. I'll keep you updated on the progress. Here's a closer look. The other Sago palm, once the new leaves started coming out at this stage, in 2 weeks they were full-sized. This is August 15th. It's almost 16 inches tall, 15 and a half inches tall. This is the 17th of August, over 22 inches. Like I said, this is my oldest plant. It has just about 18 inches of trunk. They are very slow growing. They may put on about 1 inch of trunk growth per year. They can reach a maximum height anywhere from 6 feet up to 15 feet, but that'll take several decades. These plants are male or female, and they will eventually flower and set seed. The seeds are toxic, so if you are worried about your pets eating the seeds, you have to harvest the seeds before they ripen. None of mine have yet flowered, but it's quite a long process. Let me show you some of the other sagos in my garden. Like I said, this one is the oldest, and I'll show you the newest one next. This is the Sago palm planted last year. No winter damage whatsoever. All the new growth looks fantastic. Last August, it put out a new flush of leaves, and they grow incredibly fast once they start. New flush of leaves is so vivid and green. It's a truly beautiful plant. The plants do have these very shiny, glossy green leaves, but the tips are sharp. So you have to be somewhat careful when you're handling them. The trunks are kind of spiny, so be careful when handling these plants. Brilliant, vivid green. It feels almost like plastic. It looks unreal. Gorgeous plant. This is my third sago. So this is my widest sago palm. It's currently just about 7 feet across. It's a beautiful plant. I would have no hesitation in suggesting to plant this in a northern climate. If you follow my winterization techniques, check out the description below. There's a link for 2 videos. Now these plants are pricey. In Canada, they can cost upwards of several $100s, depending on how much trunk you want. But if you have the luxury of years, you can start with a smaller plant and grow them on. Most of these tropical and subtropical plants hate having cold, wet feet through the winter. So I recommend planting them in raised beds, having well-draining soil, fertilize on a regular basis to keep them looking their best. No winter damage whatsoever. They are really tough. They'll take a fair bit of abuse. In fact, many of these tropical and subtropicals will thrive on neglect. The more we pamper them, the more problems they tend to have. Sometimes these plants are prone to mealybugs. What I've found very successful, just take a high pressure hose periodically, maybe once a week, spray them all over. It seems to keep them in check. So again, what's key: soil preparation, well-draining soil, raised beds, and winter protection. If you're really concerned, plant them in a sunny, more sheltered spot. This one is in the center of my back garden, totally exposed to the elements. They are protected with a cold frame over the winter. Again, check out the description below with the link to my videos. They are gorgeous plants, glossy green leaves. This one has just put out a fresh flush of fronds this spring. Look at the color of that, gorgeous. As always, thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Happy gardening.